some
Yes.
questions that can give you an idea. Today
Yes.
also, yeah, in the mock solution I'll discuss and also give you some brief idea about which type of questions can be asked in the question. Even though for the quiz 2 you have altogether some 13, 14 questions. All the questions are from week 5 to 8. Okay, there's a very uh, less chance of getting any questions from week 1 to 4. Maybe there can be one, but that you can solve it without knowing the concept. Even with the concept of week 5 to 8, that question is solvable. Okay. So if you have to revise it, you just revise it from week 5 to 8, go through the revision session, try to solve the mock. If you are able to solve the mock, even the paper difficulty level was much simpler than the mock. Some of the questions in mock are difficult, but you don't have to worry. The final paper is much easier uh, than your graded or the mock. Mock is just to get an idea of the number of if you are able to manage if you have been given some 13, 14 questions in 1 hour or not. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Hmm.
Got it.
So I'll just join it from. Yeah. So you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
No. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. So the first question, how many of you have try to solve the mock?
Yeah, tried, sir.
Okay.
Right, sir.
I also tried.
Salt, sir.
Okay. So everyone has tried. Nice. Okay. So
Yes,
how
sir.
was the difficulty level? Was that difficult? Easy. How was
Moderate.
that?
Moderate.
Moderate.
Not so much difficult.
Moderate.
Okay, so was
I've
that
solved
solvable in
around
1 hour?
9 questions. Yes, sir.
So was that solvable in 1 hour?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I do it in a time bound system.
Okay. Okay. Then it's fine. I don't think so. You'll be facing any issue in the exam also because paper is much easier. Whatever I've seen the final quiz paper, not that difficult. It's much easier than whatever the mock has been given to you. So let's
So your
discuss
voice is
that.
not very clear.
Is it? Is it fine now? Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
it's
Yes, sir.
better.
correct you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry, I was on mute. So now my voice is clear, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So the given question is, this is the question that you have to simplify this expression. Okay, and the options given was a to the power x square plus y square plus z square minus xy minus yz and minus zx, and then 1 and a. So which of the following options is correct? If you have solved it, can you tell me the correct options?
Option C.
C.
One.
One.
C.
Option C.
Okay, C is the correct answer. And how did you solve that? So you
Exponent.
can just
By
write it.
multiplying the exponents to numerator and denominator.
We can
So
cancel everything.
yeah, so if you have to write it this, what will you write? A to the power what? X minus y, correct?
Yes, sir.
And
Multiply
then yeah,
x
correct.
plus
You can
y
just
minus
multiply with x plus y minus z.
minus
Okay. And again a to the power y minus z
y minus z.
and
Y
y
plus z
plus z
minus x.
minus x. Correct.
Yes.
Multiplication with a to the power z minus x. Correct.
X.
And z
Yes.
plus x minus y.
X minus y. Z plus
And
x.
then yeah, z plus
Oh, sorry,
x,
sorry.
right?
No, 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 no. Please, sorry.
Hmm. And then if you see uh, the if we'll see what will happen to this value. So a to the power, what is that? X square minus xz minus y square plus yz. Correct? Similarly,
Yes.
a to the power y square minus xy minus z square plus xz into a to the power z square minus yz minus x square plus xy. Correct? If you see that, and now we'll add all if you add all the powers value, whatever the value that is available, okay, if you just add it, what are you left with? X square minus xz minus y square plus yz plus y square minus xy minus z square plus xz, then plus z square minus yz minus x square plus xy. What are you left with now? So I guess everything will get cancelled out, right? Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
This will get cancelled out, z square will get cancelled, y square will get cancelled. Okay, xz is get cancelled, yz is getting cancelled, and xy is getting cancelled. So you are left with what? 8 to the power 0. That is basically what? 1. Correct? Any problem in this question? So we'll move to the next part. Let's go to the second question. So in these questions, you have to choose out which of the following options are correct. Okay. So the first option that has been given here is the function fx equals to minus ln of ln x, and gx has been given to you e to the power x square, and then you have been asked whether these are inverse to each other or not. How do you check that whether these are inverse to each other or not?
FOG and GOF.
Correct. So we'll have to basically check like this. But you have to check, you have to f of gx, okay, should be equals to x, and g of fx should be equals to x. Correct? Let's do it for this question. So for this function, if you have to calculate the f of g, so f of g, if you have to calculate f of gx, is equals to what? F of gx function. That basically is function is given here. So minus ln of x, and you have to put, in spite of x, you have to put x square. Correct? So what can be this value? This is basically what? This is basically what? That is basically x square, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And if you have been given x square, then you are left with what? Mod x. This is mod x. This is the first question. So here itself you are not getting f of g as a x. You are getting mod x. If you will try to get it for g of fx, then g of function fx. If you have to write g of fx, this is your x square. So if you write it, e to the power minus of root ln x. E to the power, what was that? E to the power minus of
to the
ln x
root of
minus
ln x.
square.
ln x of
Whole
square.
square.
Yeah.
Correct? So
Yes, sir.
now what is this? So this is basically root
X.
of ln x. So you're left with x. Correct? So here you are getting, but here this mod x. This because of this, this we are both are not inverse. So A option is incorrect. So this is incorrect, not inverse. Let's move to the second option, B option. What is B option? The domain of the real value. So there has been given a function fx equals to e to the power x square minus 8x plus 1. So if you are facing any issues wherever, you can just stop me there. Okay. So has been given as the domain for this function. So the domain,
Sir, in the earlier option, can you just scroll to the FOGX part?
yeah.
Uh, okay, got it. Yeah, go ahead. Thanks.
So
Yeah.
in f of g of x, that should be under root ln e to the power x.
What under root ln?
There's the second step.
Okay, yeah. Correct. You are correct. So it should be like this. Correct?
Yes. Yes.
That is why it will come. Otherwise, it will not be
Yes.
the value.
Yes.
Any other mistake I have done? I guess no, right?
Sir, it won't be
Yeah.
mod because square root is always positive.
No, it's mod. It's fine. This is mod. So yeah. So the domain for this function has been given as for minus infinite to 0 union 8 to infinite. Let's check it whether we'll be getting the. Okay, how do you check the domain of any function? How will you check for this function?
Power should be more than 0.
The whole part should be more than 0. Yeah, so the this is like this, I guess, right? Or
Yes.
this.
Yes, sir, it's -1.
Okay, so if you have to check it, so whole function value under the square root should be positive because you can't get anything negative in this. So whether 0 will be included or not?
Included. No,
Included, sir.
no. Yeah, included.
Included.
Yeah. Anything having
Correct?
power 0
It should be
is
included.
X
Yes. It is your x square. How will I solve? To be greater than equals to 1.
x square
After
minus
this,
8x.
One
ln.
substitute 1 as e power 0.
Okay. So now, can I do it like this? X square minus 8x greater than equals to 0?
0. Yes.
Fine?
Yes.
Yes, sir, fine, sir.
It is right. X square.
Correct. And then if we solve it, this is 0, this is 8, this is negative, this is positive, this is positive. Anyone has any doubt in this? So the solution should be what?
No,
Minus
sir.
infinite to 0, minus infinite to 0. 0 is included, right?
Union,
8
or
to
it's
infinite.
infinite.
positive.
Correct. So this was the option,
Yes.
right? Correct.
Yes,
So the
sir.
second statement is correct. So the second statement is correct. Anyone has any doubt in this? No,
So
right?
in the previous one, can I ask
Yeah.
the under root of x square should be x, right? Why is it written as mod x? That's my doubt.
Okay. So if we have doubt. Okay. So you can take. Let's take it mod like x, but it should be mod x whenever you take the square root of x square. So basically the mod x one. So let's, for example, how can it be if you just take any random value, x equals to any values, you just take it and then do the square root of that. What will you get?
Positive
Even though,
values.
so even though if you are taking some negative, you'll be getting after this because you have to put it as, see, let's take any values, any random value. Just give me some values.
Minus 70.
Minus
70.
So this is square root only. Okay, we'll just do this. Minus, what did you say? Minus 17. Minus 7.
Yes, sir. Minus 17. Yeah, no problem.
Minus 7. Anything just you can take it. Your value will always be modest because even if you see the plot also, the square root of this is square. Basically, that is mod x only. I don't know how to explain this.
Yes, sir, I got it. Okay, sir.
You got it right.
Yes,
So,
yes. Thank you, sir.
it will not be x basically. Every time from the childhood, we used to write it the mod x, like square root of x square is basically that mod x only. Okay, because I guess this is clear. If not, you can just try to put some value, some examples, maybe x equals to minus some negative value. Then at the end, you should be taking mod x, then only your exact value should come, whatever you have taken in the start. Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
Hmm.
advanced term calculator
Sir,
and
in the
getting minus
second
1.
See, and the issue is square root of any function. Basically, that is very consistent. Like the value should be greater than. So this, if you are just taking this mod x, should always be greater than 0, right? So that is also a reason to put it as a mod x. Like if you're just putting x square also, it can't be any negative value. So that's why we generally take it as a mod x. Yeah, you're asking something. Somebody you are saying something.
Sir, in the second question, sorry, if this is complete, maybe I just check that.
Okay, this is done. Let's move to the next part.
Yeah, in the second question, that minus infinity part, I didn't get that.
Okay. So our solution, if we have a solution like this, right?
Yeah.
X into x minus. So we have to take all those values where if I'm putting x here, that should be positive. So just take one values before 0. Any value you can take it from minus infinite till 0. So just take it minus 1. If you'll just put it minus 1 here, if you'll just multiply it, it will be greater than equals to 0. So from minus infinite, this value till 0, it is behaving in the same way. So any value if you are putting from minus infinite to 0, it will be positive. Okay, let's put it minus infinite till minus infinite. And if it's minus infinite, minus 8 is like almost minus infinite again. And so the multiplication will be positive, is greater than equals to 0, right? Similarly, if you just put it minus 1 also, minus 1 times of minus 1 minus 8 is minus 9 is greater than equals to 0. So that is also positive. So till minus infinite to 0, it will behave in the same way. So that's why it should be in the domain.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. So till now it's clear, right?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Yes.
Yeah, clear.
Okay. So the C option. What is the C option? Yeah. So x equals to 3 is the vertical. So basically you have to calculate the vertical asymptote, okay, for this function fx ln x square plus 5x minus 24, I guess, 24. How do you calculate this
Minus
vertical
24.
asymptote?
The term inside the log should be greater than or
Equal to
equal to
0.
0, and then we can calculate the roots.
Okay, correct. So if you just plot it, the vertical asymptote is what? Can somebody define that? Have you been
The graph
knowing
would
that?
become like a straight line. It will go 10 to infinity.
Correct. So how does the ln plot is something like that, right? So at x
Yeah.
equals to 0, it starts touching this line, right? This vertical line. Like if you have this x-axis and y-axis, at x equals to 0, basically it starts touching, and this is like a vertical only. So you have to put it this as a 0, correct? This is what you have to do basically, and it's simple. Now if you just put it x square plus 5x minus 20 equals to 0. 20 or 24? 24, I guess.
24. 24.
24 equals to 0. So what should be the solution? What is the solution for this?
The
I guess
roots
this
are
is
minus 8 and 3.
plus 8
10, 3,
and minus 3.
minus 3.
Okay, so x equals to minus 8 and 3.
Plus
Basically,
3.
x equals to, so the given option is correct. So line
Correct.
x equals to 3 is the vertical asymptote. What is the D option? So the D is, so the till now we have been
Excuse
given
me, sir. Sir,
B and
why
C
we,
is correct.
sir,
Yeah.
sir, why we ignore the x is equals to minus 8?
In the option you have been asked just about line x equals to 3. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Now the D option is what? The function may be, okay, this is simple. If fx may be continuous at a point x equals to 0, even if it is not differentiable. Can somebody give me an example of this? This mod x only, whatever we were discussing now. This x square, this mod x, right? This is not differentiable at here, right? But this is continuous, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this function is basically x when x is greater than 0, and this is minus x when the x is less than 0.
Yes, sir.
Sharp corner.
Yeah, this is basically mod x. Here, so our correct option is B, C, and D. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, the last option, can you just explain once again?
Yeah, so the last option is if you have been given, so can a function f can be continuous at x equals to a, even if it is not differentiable. So you can see that any function, differentiability is a different thing, right? Different if you have a sharp int, right? Like for example, for mod x, this point at this point, because you already know that difference for differentiability, this left hand difference, whatever you do that, and the right hand should be same, right?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, correct.
Not the limit, because here the limit is same, like it is differentiable. If you just come, because it is 0, if you are coming from left hand side, 0 minus or 0 plus, the LH is the left hand limit and the right hand limit will be same, and the will be equals to 0. That is fine because it is continuous here. For continuity, there is a different concept. Like if you are plotting this, if I am plotting this plot, I can directly plot it, right, without even lifting the pane. Okay, so that's why it is a continuous, and your limit LHL, RHL, and the function value is same. LHL equals to RHL equals to function value at 0. But if you calculate the left hand differentiability and the right hand differentiability, you can just check that the slope here, if you just move to 0 plus, if you just same plot, if there is a very sharp end, okay, because there is a drastic change here, right? If this was like this, then you would have said that this is not, this is differentiable also, okay. But if you just see this function, you can, here it is 0. At 0, if you see that, just
Okay,
move
good.
plus and 0 minus. If you just try to see the slope, okay, any tangent here at 0 plus, it will be somewhat like making positive degree to the theta, like the x-axis. But if you move 0 minus itself, the slope will directly change it. It's not, both are not same, right? But for
Yeah.
differentiability, both should be same, right? So that's why it
Okay.
is not differentiable, even though it is a continuous function. Okay?
Okay.
But the inverse is not true. If you have been, if a function that is not continuous, that must be not differentiable also. But this statement is correct. Okay.
Oh, got it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So let's move to the third question now. Okay. So the third question is what has been given here. Yeah. So the composite function. Okay. For any composite function fx, here it has been given as x plus 5 and x minus 3, and gx has been given to you. Can somebody tell me what is the condition to get the domain for f of g function? What are the two conditions that you check it? Okay, can somebody tell me the two conditions that you check?
The range of the function
F should
g would be
belongs
equal
to
to
domain
the
of G.
domain of f.
Okay, to calculate the domain, the first statement is, what did you say? The range.
Range of
Okay,
function g would be equal to the domain of function f of g.
okay, and if you are getting some range for gx that is not in the domain of fx, so basically you have to remove those values of x such that gx not belongs to domain of x, right? All this x you have to exclude, correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand? Okay, and then basically you have to remove all those values, those are not in the domain of gx also. You have to remove all those values of x also that doesn't belongs to the domain of gx. These were the two conditions that you have to check, right? Or anything else you have to check?
These two conditions.
So x, do all those values of x where the gx, the range that you're calculating, so for gx, that is not. So why this is happening? Because let's, for example, for function fx, for this function itself, you can see that 3 is not in the domain. Okay, because you can't put 3 here, right? So you have to exclude all those values of x such that whenever you are getting gx equals to 3, are you getting me? So whenever the function gx is equals to 3, we have to exclude all the values of x from this function, because that can't be in the domain. Because if you are putting that value in the x, let's for example, x equals to some a, when you are putting a here in this function gx, you are getting 3. That means you have to exclude a, because if you are putting a here, you will be getting 3, and that 3 will be put go inside the f of g function. But that is not possible because 3 is not in the domain of fx itself. So that's why a, you have to exclude it. Is it making sense to you? Are you able to understand that?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Then I guess
Yes,
we'll be
sir.
able to. Okay. Then we'll be able to solve this function. Okay. If you are, let's try this f of gx now. What has been given here? The function is, okay, so gx plus 5, gx plus 3, sorry, minus 3. Okay. gx is, okay. Now if you have to calculate the domain, how will you calculate the domain for this function? This should not be equals to non-zero, correct? What else? This is the first statement.
The root of should be more than 0.
Correct. And this should be more than 0, right? X square minus 1 should be greater than equals to 0, right? This is the condition of gx, and this is the condition for fx. So this, I told you, right? For gx, you have to take, there is a domain for gx, correct? So whatever is there in the domain of gx will be there in the for the domain of f of g, but you have to exclude something. What do you have to exclude? Wherever the function f gx is equals to 3, so this should be included. All those values of x where this is equals to 3, because that can't go inside the f of g, right? So that's why you have to exclude this. Whether you solve it like this, or you would have to solve it from the statement that you have written. So basically, for gx, you have to calculate the domain for gx. So whatever is not in the domain of gx should not be in the domain of f of g, and you have to exclude all those values of x where gx is equals to whatever the values that are not in there in the domain of the fx. Okay, so that is what we have done. First, we have done the for the domain for gx, and then we have removed all those values. We are removing all those values of x where this g of x is equals to 3, because 3 is not in the domain of fx. Correct? So now if you'll solve it, you'll be getting for this equation, this is what x minus 1,
Mod x is more than or
x
equal to
plus
1.
1. Correct. So
So
what are
it
left to
should be greater than 0 only, right? Should we consider equal to also over there? X squared
Yeah.
here?
minus greater than 0.
Yeah. Because if you're just putting any function, it can take 0, but it can't take less than. So it can't take any non like positive. Like basically, it can't take any negative value.
Yeah.
Whatever. How?
So if we can't
Okay.
take any negative values, we can just give x squared minus 1 greater than 0, right? Now we have given greater than or equal to.
Because it can take, so square root of 0 is possible, right? But square root of minus 0.0 something is not possible. 0.01 is not possible because it will be a complex value. But square root of 0 is possible because square root of 0 is 0, right? Correct?
Yeah, correct.
That's why we have put it. Wherever, if you have been given a function like this, so fx to get the domain should be greater than equals to 0. Okay. If you're just putting 0, you're just missing some value. Okay. Where the function is 0. So if you have a function something like that, x square root of x square, this is, so you can put 1, right? If you're putting 1, your function value will be 0.
Okay,
That
okay,
doesn't
got it,
like,
got it. Yeah, got it.
yeah. Okay, so this is -1, this is +1. The value that you need is, I guess, this one and this one. So +1 and this one. Okay, so basically that is x less than equals to -1 and x greater than equals to 1. These are in the domain. And let's solve this one. What are the values we'll be getting?
X square.
Mod of x square minus 1 is not equals to 3.
Root of 10.
So x square minus 1
Plus
not
minus
equals to
root 10.
9.
9.
Okay, yeah. It's not equals to plus minus root 10. So these two values you have to exclude, and other values are this x is there. Okay. So whatever the first option is correct or not. So if you'll just try to write it, how will you write it? So minus infinite to what? This minus root 10, correct?
Root 10.
And this is excluded, so will not be. It will be an open one only because this is excluded. This is not included. Then again, what else?
Minus root 10 till -1 open interval.
Minus
And
root
on
10
the right
to
side it will be closed. -1.
minus 2. Correct. Perfect. Let's move to next union. What else? Now it is from 1, correct? So 1 will be included and root
Minus
10 will not be included.
Yes, root
close
10.
open.
Correct. Then again, root 10 now is also not included because root 10 is excluded to infinite. This is the domain. Anyone is facing any issue in this? How to write this or anything like that? Is it clear to everyone?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you move to the next question? Okay. So there are some other. Okay. If the first option is correct, then the second is incorrect, right? Let's move to the term. F of g. What have you got? F of g. This is the function that we have got. So I guess the C option is also correct. Now
Yes,
you have to
sir.
calculate the g of f. G of f. How will you calculate g of f? So g of, let's write g of f. What is the function?
X square
Square
minus
root of
root x minus x square minus 1.
root x plus 5 minus x minus
But
3
Upon x
x
plus
minus
h
minus
3
square
1.
minus 1.
minus
Okay. This is a function, right?
Yes, sir.
X
Yes,
is
sir.
under root of x
That's
square
it.
minus 1, correct?
Yeah.
So, and this you have to put as a fx, right? Is it clear? So basically you put it fx, right, inside this. So if you have a function x square minus 1, so basically it will be fx square minus 1, correct? So you have just kept it like this, the function fx
Yes, sir.
minus
Got
1.
it.
So now
The option is
it
correct.
should be correct. Okay. So x minus 3 whole square, that is x plus 5 square minus x minus 3 whole square. So now if you just do the calculation, you'll be left x square will get cancelled, right? And then you'll be 25 minus 9 is 16. Okay, so basically plus 16, and then you're left with 10x, 10x, and there it is minus of 6x, then minus plus of 6x, correct? So 25x plus 6x, 31x, 25 plus 6, sorry, 10x plus 6x. So basically that will be
16x.
16x. So 16 plus 16x. Anything we are missing? No. Correct.
No.
Then again, if you just, this is x minus 3 ka whole square, correct? And if you see that, you will be left with what? Root of
4
16.
common outside.
We can take 4 common. Yeah, correct. Yeah. You can take 4, and then you left with x plus 1, correct? And this you can
Yes,
write
sir.
it as mod x minus 3. Clear?
So
Yeah.
in the g of x above, can you please explain the domain part?
Okay. So the
Gx,
domain
gx.
part,
Yeah.
this only, right?
The above ones.
Mm, above f
Just
of
the
g,
g of
right?
x.
F of g. Okay. So you want me to explain the method, or how did we
The
wrote
g
this?
of x part, the wherein we were calculating x square minus 1 part. X square minus 1 greater than equal to 0, and then you drew the number line, no?
Okay, okay, okay,
That
okay,
part.
okay. So this is clear, right? So how did we get the values? That is clear, right? That
Yeah, that is clear.
that gx for gx, if you are calculating the domain for f of g function for g, you have to check first the domain for g, whatever the values that is not in there in the g, the domain in the g, that you have to exclude. And the second part is you have to exclude all those values of x where the range for gx is equals to the domain of fx, where the where that doesn't satisfy, that doesn't come in the domain of the fx. Okay, so this method we have done, or you can just directly write it all the function and then you can solve it. The next part is how will you write this? So you can see that our value is from minus infinite to minus 1. Okay, so minus infinite to minus 1, but in between we have to exclude one number. You can write it like this also: minus infinite to minus 1 union 1 to infinite, okay, minus this value, root of 10 and root of minus 10. This also you can write it. Okay, this is also correct. Both are same. Now, if you have to write it the way it has been written in the question, okay, because you have to exclude this minus of plus minus of root 10. So I have started from minus infinite. You have to go till minus 1, but in between you have to exclude one number. So minus 10 you have to exclude. So that's why you have written like this. And then again union. And you have started again from the same number till minus 1, because this value you have to exclude, right? So that's why it's not coming in the domain. This has been excluded. Union of, again you will start from minus till here minus 1 has been done. Now you have to start from 1 to infinite, right? So if you have to start from 1 to infinite, but in between you have to exclude one number, that is plus minus plus root 10. So excluded that. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir, it is clear. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So you can write it in this way also, but as the option has been given in this type, like this, it has been written. You have to, like, you just have to write it in this way and then check whether it's correct. Okay. So I guess for this, D was correct. What else was correct? D was correct, and I guess A was correct, and C was correct. A, C, D again. Let's go to fourth question. The fourth question has been given here is consider a sequence an, and that has been given as a n minus 1 plus a n minus 2 by 2 for n greater than or equals to 3. A1 is given as 0, A2 is given as what? 1. This work has been given to you. Now you have to check whether this n is converging or not. This you have to check. N is converging or not. If we'll just start with that, what do you think? N will converge or not?
No, no, sir.
It's not converging.
It's converging to
It's
0, I
converging,
guess.
sir.
Okay, let's check it whether it's converging or not. Okay, if I have to write it A3, A3 is what? A2 plus A1 by 2. What about A4? A4 is A3 plus A2 by 2. Okay, so similarly, if you write it A5, A4 plus A3 by 2 till AN. If you just add all those functions, what will you get? So an addition, A3 plus A4 plus A5 till AN is equals to what? Is equals to what? A2 plus A1 by 2 plus A3 plus A2 by 2. Similarly, A4 plus a2 by 2, and this will go on an minus 1 plus an minus 2 by 2. Okay, so okay, what are we left with? So the summation of this summation for this AI function where I is equals to 3 to n is basically what you're left with. What this a2 by 2 and a2 by 2 will become a2. So only you are left with a1 by 2 plus a2
So it should be A4 plus A3 by 2.
where okay here.
Yes.
So this a2 plus by 2 and a2 by 2 will be a2. I guess you're left with a n minus 1, so by 2. Other than that, everything will be 1. Is this correct? This is correct,
Yes.
right? Now, what should be the value? The summation of ai I equals to 3 to n is equals to what? Okay, and this is, I guess, a1. What is the value of a1? a1 is 0.
0.
So this is cancelled. Equals to what? A n minus 1 by 2 plus summation of ai I equals to 2 n minus 2. This is what you are getting. Now tell me whether it's a so this is done, right? Now okay, so you are left with what? You will be left with, if you'll just see this, if you have to just take whether it is converging or not. So this function you can just fill starting, so it starts with 3, it starts with 2, so only one value is there, so you can just write it like this. It will just write it. It will be from a3 till an minus 1 plus an, and equals to a n minus 1 by 2 plus a2 till the end.
So I have a doubt. Why didn't you start from A1 actually?
What?
Why didn't you start from A1 itself?
Where?
The sequence, you started with A3, so
Okay.
that's
A3, here it has been written, right? An is equals to an minus 1 and an minus 2. So that's why, because here it has been given that it should start with 3, right?
yes,
The end is,
okay.
so that's why. It
Yes.
has been given in the question. So now if we'll just write it out till an, and then if it starts from here, a2 till again till an minus 2. So all the values till a minus 2 will get cancelled. If you just think of this, a2 will be left with.
So can you
You'll
repeat how
be
to get summation of AI where I is equal to 2 and n minus 1?
So it's not
here.
very clear that how did we come to the summation part.
Okay. 1 second. I'll just delete this part. First, deal with how the function is converging. Okay. So if you just have to check whether the function is converging or not. So here also the summation part is what? So I'm not writing the summation part here first. I'll just try to tell you whether the function is converging or not. So this is also from a3 till an. This is clear to everyone, and this is a1 by 2 plus a2 till an minus 1. This is clear? Till now it is clear, right? Or
Yes,
do you
sir.
want me to explain? So
So,
see,
But
the function was
A1 and A2 are are part of the sequence, right?
A1 and A2. The values has been given to you, right?
Yeah, but still they are the part of they are part of the sequence, right?
They are part of sequence. Okay. So we have started with A3 because n was greater than equals to 3.
Yes, that I
So
understand.
we have written A3, A4, all the values. Okay. And try to do the summation. Because I guess one of the option you have to check the summation part also, right? Fourth option, you have to check third and fourth option is basically regarding the summation. So if you are just doing the summation of all those values, in the left hand side, this is you are getting, in the right hand side, this is what you are getting. Okay. And then if you'll just check it, the summation from this is starting from 3 to n. Okay. No. So the summation part, here it is a3 till an, and here it is a1 by 2. Basically, that is 0. A1 is 0. So it starts from 2 to n minus 1 till here. So what are the values that are left? All the values, because a2 is in here also, it will be a3. So all those values will get cancelled out. What are the values that will be left? Here till here, you will be left with one values, an minus 1. So an, half of the values will get cancelled out, half will be left. Correct? Are you getting me? How many of you are able to understand this?
So in
Yes,
LHS only an minus 1 and an will be left out. That's what.
Correct. Yeah, n minus 1 by 2 will be remaining. And what else will be remaining? And an will be remaining.
Sir, line LHS it is an minus 1, right?
Okay.
Divided by 2 is not there, right?
See, I'll write it out. So here it is A3, A4, and it is still an minus 1 plus an. This is in the left hand side, and the right hand side, as this is already cancelled, so you are left with what? You are left with so if you are doing the summation of all this part, so an is what? An, can someone tell me? An is an minus 1 and then plus an minus 2 by 2. Here also, so this summation has came here. Okay, that is fine. Okay, and if you're doing the summation, okay, so the other part you'll be left with till now. This is clear. This is done. Now, if you just do the summation of all this part, you'll be left with A2 will be remaining, and A3 till from A3 till an minus 2 plus an minus 1 by 2. Now, all this value will be cancelled out. We'll be left with an is 1, basically 1 plus an minus 1 by 2, and here it should be an minus 1 plus an. This is what has been, so this is what will remain, and then if you'll just cancel out, you'll be left with what? An equals to, this will go here, right? So 1 minus n minus 1 by 2. Is this clear, or should I explain it again? See, I'll just try to put it again. So this function has been given like this. An has been given, the sequence has been given, right? An minus 1 plus an minus 2 by 2, where n is greater than equals to 3. For a1 and a2, the values has been given. Is it clear? Are you able to hear me?
Yes,
yes,
sir.
Yes.
Okay. So this has been given, the sequence has been given something like that. An equals to n minus 1 plus n minus 2 by 2. Correct? Where n is greater than equals to 3. And then a1, a2 values has been given to you. Now, some of the option has been given where you should be knowing whether the function, the sequence is converging or not, and then where it is converging, if it is converging. And then the other part are the summation of AI. Okay. So let's we'll start with, we'll just try to write it, right? So A3, A4, A5, I just wrote it, right? And then we have tried to write this. Whenever we have tried to write, so we LHS and RHS, we are just seeing that what are the values that we are getting. So nothing else, we are trying out something. So we have just summed all the values. So all the sequence we have summed A3, A4, A5 till AN. Okay. So all those values is here. And then in the right hand side, we have this value. So this is A3, this is A4. Similarly, till AN, we have written it here. Now, if you'll just see that in the left hand side, you can just directly write it. The summation is here. So if you'll just see that what are the values that are left in the right hand side. So only A2 by 2 will be there. A2 by 2 plus A2 by 2, that makes A2. Okay, similarly for A3 by 3 and then here A3 by 3, so that will make A3. So we'll be left with only A1 by 2 because A1 by 2 only is only like for A1, only half of the A1 is available, right? That's why it is A1 by 2. Okay. Similarly, till end, you will be seeing that for AN minus 2, you'll be here also, here it will be AN minus 2 plus AN minus 3. So, and for N minus 2 also half plus half, 1 is remaining, but for N minus 1, only half is there, right? So that's why N minus 1, this half part is there only. Other than that, everything has a full part. So this will become 0 because we already know that A1 is given as 0. So you'll just put it as 0. A2 is given as 1. So it will be 1. From A3 till here, it will get cancelled out. So you can see that here, this part is remaining. And this even in that step also, N minus 1, you can just reduce it to half. But I just, to make you understand, we can just write it as like this. N minus 1 and N part is there. Till N minus 2 part, all the things has been cancelled out. So this has been cancelled out till A3 to N minus 1, it has been cancelled out. What is remaining here is A2 because A2 was not present here. So that's why A2 is present. This is basically A2. What else? N minus 1 and N. Okay, and now in the next step, N minus 1 also, you know that here it is 1 and here it is half. So half will be remaining. So minus N minus 1. So you'll be left with this part. Is this clear? This is the sequence that you are left with in the end. Is
Sir,
it clear?
can you explain the last part of the right hand side sequence? The last
Okay.
part
So,
of AN. Just
okay.
fourth step, the recent last that part.
Okay. So that if you'll just write all the summation, whatever was given, A2 plus A1 by 2, A3 plus A2 by 2, you can see that only A1 has a half because A1 is not coming anywhere else, right? But A2, here it is half, okay? And here it is half. So that makes A2 as full. Similarly, A3 is here, it is half, and here it is half. So A3. Similarly, for all the other values, it will be full. Only the AN minus 1 will be remaining because before this term, so this is a term, before this term, what do you think? What should be there? AN minus 2 plus AN minus 3 by 2 should be present, right? So for N minus 2, half and half will be present. That makes here N minus 2. But N minus 1 will be half because only here it is there. In the last term, that was AN minus 1 by 2 was present. So that's why I wrote it like this. Now in the next step, whenever you see that, so A1 is 0, so that makes it cancelled. So you are remaining with A2 from A2 to N minus 1 and then half of N minus 1. Correct? But you already know that in this part, in the left hand side, from A3 to AN minus 1, AN minus 2. So from the left hand side, so everything is present, right? Except A1 and A2 because that this sequence itself starts with 3 because we have written like that. In the right hand side, A2 is there, so A2 is 1. From A3 to N minus 1 will get cancelled. So this will get cancelled out. Here it will be remaining, will be left with N minus 1 and N. So we have wrote it like this. And here in the right hand side, only half of the N minus 2, N minus 1 will be there because from the starting it was half only. And now if you do the calculation, you will be left with this sequence. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If this is clear, so now can you tell me whether it will converge or not?
Yes. No.
And send to infinite, whether N minus 1 will be equal to N or not. Let's, for example, just take it as L. Okay, some value L equals to 1 minus L by 2. So what is left with? So we'll be left with what? 3L by 2 equals to 1. So L is what? Is getting converging at the values at which it is converging to 2 by 3.
Sir, here an is L, so an minus 1 also will be L.
So because both are converging towards some point. See, A0 was what? A0, the value is given. A1 was given. Okay. A1 was given as what? 0, and A2 was given as 1. Just
Yeah.
put some A2. A2 is what? 1 minus 1 by 2. Correct? A3, what is the A3? 1 minus A2 by 2. A2 is what? If you'll just put it here, you'll be left with what? 1 minus A2, whatever the values that you are getting. Similarly, if you'll just write it as A4, A4 is what? 1 minus A3 by 2. A5 is what? 1 minus A4 by 2. Correct? All those values you'll just see, it will be, as you're progressing, it will start tending toward 2 by 3. You're not
Sir, how
getting,
can we
or
conclude
what?
that?
Okay, see. I just wrote it like A1 is equals to 1 minus A0 by 2. A2, I just wrote it like that, 1 minus A1 by 2. And if you just put it 1 minus A0 by
Sir,
2
A2 is
by
1,
2.
A3 will be half, A4 will be 3 by 4,
Correct. So if you just
and
see,
A5
correct,
will
correct.
be 8 by 5, or 5 by 8.
Yeah, correct. So if you just calculate it, A1 will be what? I guess A1 is 1, A2 is 0.5, A3 is
Sir, A1 is 0, that
0.75.
is given.
A1 is 0.
What? A0
A1
is
is
0.
0.
Oh, sorry. A1 is 0. I just took it as A0 as 0.
A0 will be 2 and A1 will be 0.
Is given as 1, right? What I
0,
could
sir,
get.
0.
Okay,
0.
0
So
and
A1 is
A2.
0, A2 is 1.
Okay. Okay.
Now half.
Oh, whatever the values, even though if you just take 1, 2 also, see, if you just, this is the sequence that you are getting, correct?
Yes.
So A2 will be what? A2 will be somewhat 3 by 2 minus A0 by 4. Similarly, A3 will be what? If you just put it like this, 1 minus A2 by 2, it will be 1 minus A2 was what? 3 by 2 minus A0 by 4 by 2. If you just calculate it, you'll be getting, but now will be like closer and closer to A0 by 8, I guess, somewhat like this. Okay. So this sequence is somewhat an minus some constant Cn minus A0 by D. Something like that. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So this is basically converging, right? This function is converging to some point, but values. It's not like it is going as infinite, like you're not able to
Yeah,
get
it's
some
converging, but
value.
how can we conclude that it is converging to 2 by 3?
The
No,
value,
because
sir, the value we are getting after some time is 0.666666. So it is basically 2 by 3. That's why.
yeah, and that also you can just think of it like that also. This is n minus 1. Okay. So for n tends to infinite, both the values, if this is converging, both will be converging toward the same value, right? N and n minus 1. If you're just thinking of some very large value, are you getting me? So n, if let's for example n is start tending to infinite, very large value. So n and n minus 1 will start tending to the same value, correct?
Yes.
And then if you're just taking L as a value, that is that sequence is tending to. So that's why I just wrote it like n equals to 1 minus L by 2. And if you'll just see the L value, it will be 2 by 3. Is it clear to everyone or not?
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I directly substituted the values and got all those values. Like I got A3, A4, A5, A6, and A7. And
That
I
is
could
also
see
correct.
that the pattern was moving towards 0.6666. So is that the correct way?
Yeah, that is also correct way. But
Okay, sir.
maybe that will take some time. But even though this is also taking time, right? That also you can just two, three values that you can just check out, and then just see where it is converged. Even though this part, if you're just able to write this equation itself, it shows that it is some values that is less than one. Okay, that is converging towards some values. So the converging part should not be difficult to know whether it is converging or not,
Okay, sir.
right? And it is converging toward 2 by 3 because if you just take some n as infinite, because in a sequence you just start tending towards some very large values, right? And if you're just tending towards some large values, this sequence itself, both the values will be equal and will start tending toward 2 by 3. Is it clear to everyone? So the first option is incorrect, the second option is correct. So that it is tending toward 2 by 3. And then the summation part. The summation part we have already solved, right? What should be the from 3 and 4? Which one is correct? Fourth one. We have written it, right? So here, if you just try to write it out, so the summation, so this part is what? The summation of ai from I equals to 3 to n is equals to what? You're left with, so this will be left, right? This function will be left. So an minus 1 by 2 plus summation of all ai I equals to 2 to n minus 2. Correct?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Is it clear or not? It's clear, right?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
so I tried, but I was not getting. I could. I really don't know, sir.
Okay,
So
so
when you say a of n minus 1 by 2, so
yeah,
basically it is a of n minus 2 plus a of n minus 3 by 2.
correct.
Sir, I don't know, sir. I was missing some more terms. Sir, have you solved this question in this lecture at some time? I mean,
Yeah.
previously, so that I can go through that.
Yeah. We have
Okay,
solved
sir.
this
Okay, sir.
question.
Fine.
Yeah.
Sir, I'll see it because I was not getting the answers.
Okay. No problem. Okay. So the next part is what? This is
So,
clear, right? Yeah.
so sir, in this question, like I think one of the students was saying about the substitution approach, right? But if we go with that, then the last option we wouldn't be able to find out, right? We will have to go with this approach itself then.
Substitute method will not help you to get the fourth option.
Okay.
Substitute method can tell you where the function is tending towards. So 2 by 3, that you can get it. Whether it is converging or diverging, yeah. But if you have to solve this whole problem, you'll have to write this summation of all the parts. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So the next question is, now let's move toward some of the question that has been given to you. So what is the question? So okay, we'll deal with this two question named. Let's move to the next part. The limit. The question has been given to you. The 7 to 9. So the function is given something like that. P is about x minus 4x plus 3. X is less than 0. When x is equals to 0, you have q minus 5. When x is greater than 0, you have r sine x plus 9 cos x. Correct? Now the first question is, if the limit exists at 0 for the given function, then what will be the value of p? If the limit exists as 0, what should I do? Can somebody tell me? If the limit
LHL
exists
is
at
equal to
0,
RHL.
LHL, is this function required? Is this function, should we consider this function?
No,
Where
sir.
x equals to, no, right? To check the limit, you just have to check this function, this value and this value should be equal, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So x 0 minus should be equals to left 0 plus. For 0 minus which function? This function should be considered. So p Ex minus 4x plus 3 is equals to this function r sin x plus q cos x. Okay. So if you just put the value of x equals to 0, you'll be left with p.
Sir, is it
plus
2
3.
cos x?
Yeah, this is q cos x. Cos x is what? Cos 0 is what? 1.
That is
Q
9
2.
actually, not Q. 9
Yes,
cos x.
9 cos x.
So it is
Oh,
9.
Okay, this is 9. Okay. So this is 9. So this is
And
9.
cos 0 is 1, so it will be just 9.
Yeah, this is, yeah, right. So it will be left with p is equals to 6.
6.
6.
Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
No. Now
Yes,
the
sir.
next question is what? The eighth one is, if this is continuous at 0. If this is continuous at 0, then what should I do? This value,
Yes,
yeah.
at
Whatever
x
the
is
value
equal to
that,
0.
correct. So that should be equal to f equals to 0, right? So LHS now, the limit x tends to 0 minus of fx should be equals to limit x tends to 0 plus should be equals to f0. Now, what are we have to find q, right? We have to find q by 2. Okay. So 0 minus is what? 0 minus just equated to only one value. 0 minus, so p e to the power x minus 4x plus 3 is equals to q minus 5. So this is what? P plus 3 is equals to q. Okay, my pencil is discharged now. Okay, let me connect it to the charger. Okay. So this is q. Q minus 5. So p is what? P we have calculated, right? This is 6,
Yeah,
right?
P is
6
equal to
plus
6.
9 equals to q minus 5. So q is 14. And if you have to calculate q by 2, this is basically 7. 7 should be correct. Now the next question is, if f is differentiable everywhere, find the value of r. Now what will you do? If f is differentiable everywhere, what should be the shortest method? What should you do?
Sir, in this example, Q is equal to 14, right? Why did we go for 7?
Q by 2.
You have to
Q
find
by
Q
2
by
there
2.
Okay, for fine.
So the next part is, if it is differentiable everywhere, what should be the value of r? How will you calculate this?
We can equate the
We
LHT
can-
and the RHT.
So we can
What?
differentiate the RHL part.
Find
Okay,
the
I
LHT
should,
and RHT.
correct. So if I have different, the function has given here is what? R sin x plus q cos x.
9 cos x.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Okay, this is 9, right? 9.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So if you just differentiate it, what will you get? F dash x is r cos x minus 9 sin x. This is the left hand part or right hand part? The right hand part.
Right
Okay.
hand part.
Right.
So
RH.
f dash 0 plus, what will you get here? R, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now calculate the f dash x from the left hand side. So what will be the value?
P minus 4.
P over x minus 4, correct? If you
Yes.
just put the value of 0 here, we'll be left with p minus 4 is equals to r. So p is what? P was 6, right? So 6
Yes,
times
sir.
4 equals to R. So R equals to 2. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
And this type of problem will be there in your exam also. Okay. And two more important things. So this mod function and the floor function, you should be knowing by heart. Okay. If you haven't solved any question, I guess in the revision session, we have discussed, and I guess they have the people who has taken the session has discussed about the GIF function, like the floor function that you call, and the mod function. So mod function and the GIF should be, you should be knowing by heart. Okay, otherwise you'll mess up in the exam. So if you haven't solved it, any GIF type of question, you can just solve it, I guess, in the session that was discussed. Even when I took the session, we discussed it, and in the remaining sessions also, the floor function and the mod function has been discussed. Because even though you know the concept of continuity, differentiability, and limit, if you don't know the concept of GIF, how to go ahead with mod function and GIF, while knowing the concept, all the concepts also, you can do the mistakes, okay, and can do the wrong. So that's why I'm telling you. So there are problems from the GIF and the mod X. So that's why I'm telling you to solve some problem or get an idea about the GIF function. If the values are 1.32, what should be the value? What is the basically the how do you plot this function? Okay, GIF function, the step function that you know. How does that look? If the values are negative, then how does it behave? Okay, those type of things you should be knowing. Okay, so thus it came in my mind. So that's why I told you. I guess we don't have any question in the mock, but for sure you'll be getting some questions on the GIF and the X. So not proper from the floor function, but we'll have to check the continuity differentiability with a function that includes those functions also. Okay, so that's why I told you. This question is clear. 7 to 9. Can we move to the next part?
Yes, sir.
So can you repeat the last part?
Last part, differentiability.
Yes.
Okay. So for the differentiability, you'll have to check the left hand differentiability and the right hand side, right? So from the right side, you have been given the function. So if you're just taking at 0, so 0 plus and 0 minus should not be having a draft, like the slope should not be very different. The slope should be equal, right? So f dash of 0 plus and f dash of 0 minus, both should be equal. So you have been given one function, r sin x plus not q, 9 cos x. So if you just differentiate it, you will be left with the one function, r cos x minus 9 sin x. We'll just put the value of 0 because we are checking into 0 plus value, right? The other function is what? So there are two functions, right? Basically, one function that behaves x less than, for x less than 0, there was one function. And for x greater than 0, there was the other function. And if the function is differentiable at x equals to 0, basically at 0 plus and 0 minus, the differentiable part will be same. So that's why we have differentiated both the function and put the value of 0, and that should be equal. So that is what we have done. Okay, you can go with the basic approach also. You can write it in the form of 0 plus h and something like that. But this method is also correct. Okay, have you understood?
Yes.
Okay. So the next question is, you have been given a function, something like that, fx plus y equals to fx into fy. For all x, y belongs to D. Okay, and what has been given here is f1 has been given as 5, and f0 has been given, f dash 0 has been given as 3. So this is the question, and then you have been asked to calculate what? F of 0. How will you calculate this? F of 0? Just put the value of one of the two as 0. If the let's, for example, let x equals 0. If x equals to 0, f of y is equals to f of 0 into f of y. Correct? So
You can
what
have f
we are
of y
getting?
as
So if
1.
you just put it, correct. So 1 minus f of 0, f of 0 is 1, correct? So this you have got, right? The first it
But I
is
didn't
1,
get
right?
this part.
Okay,
So
okay,
can
I'll
you
just write it again.
repeat it again?
Yeah, I'll just write it again. So you have been given something like that. So this function has been given to you that fx plus y is equals to fx into fy. Excuse me. So if you have to get the value of f1, you have to, sorry, f0 you have to calculate. So calculate f of 0. If you have to calculate f0, so what I said is let x equals to 0. If I'm taking this x equals to 0, how will you write the function? F of 0 plus y should be equals to what? Can you tell me? What should I write here?
f0 into fy.
0 plus f1.
Correct?
Yes.
So you'll be left with what? Here you'll be left with f of y equals to f of 0 into f of y. What do you think? What should be the coefficient value such that f of y will be equals to f of y?
1.
1.
1.
1, right? So you have calculated the value of f0, that is 1. Now next part, that
Yes.
is it clear? Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Now you have to calculate f dash of 1. You have to calculate. How will you calculate this? F dash of 1. So what do you think? Calculate f dash of x. F dash of x will be what? How do you write this? How do you write? You write something
Plus
like this, like limit of x. Oh, not x. Okay, we can take it x also. There's no problem. But let's take h tends to 0.
a plus
F of
a plus h
x minus
minus
x
f
by
of x divided by h.
x. Correct? This is how you write it. And you have to calculate at f dash of 1, right? Just put x equals to 1. If you are putting x equals to 1, f dash of 1 is what? Limit h tends to 0. F of 1 plus h minus f of 1 by what? H.
H.
What can I write? What can I write for 1 and h? You know, right? F of x plus y is what? F of x into f of y. Correct? So
F
what
of
should I
1
write here?
dot f of 1 into f of h.
F of 1 into f of h minus f of 1 by h. Can you write it 1 plus 0 here? We can write it, right? We can write
Yes,
it.
sir.
Okay. So limit of h tends to 0. This will be f of 1 into f of h minus f of 1 into f of 0 by h. F of 0 is what? F of 0 we have calculated, right?
1.
It is same. Yeah, so there is f of 0. Okay. So if you just take the function
F
f
of
of 1,
1 common.
f of 1 common we can take, right? And limit of h tends to
L
0.
hospital.
What?
L hospital.
But you don't know all the values, right? For L'Hopital's, it should be in some determinant form, right? And then all the values you are not aware of. All the values, I think so, because f does of, because if you'll just do the, because you have to do the differentiation of both the numerator and denominator, right? The numerator part you can do it with respect to h, but for numerator part, f dash of h you don't know, right? F dash of 1 also you don't know. So you have to calculate basically, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So if you just write it as here, fh minus, what do you write? F of 0 by h. This is what? This is what?
F dash of 0.
F dash of 0, right? This is what?
Yes.
See, h tends
Yes,
to
sir.
0. You can write it like this. 0 plus h minus f0 by h. This is what? F dash of 0. So this is what? This function now becomes what? This is f dash of x. This function becomes f1 multiplied with f dash of 0.
5 into 315.
Yeah. So this is basically f dash of 1 equals to 5 into 3 equals to 15. Is it clear or not? Everyone? Is it clear?
Sir, one
Can
step
you
in
Yes, sir.
between,
Denominator you took f dash 0. H S
If
here.
dash, yeah, 5
Uh,
is that's been given in the question. Yeah.
Okay, that's 0 given in the question. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, this has been given. This has been given as 3, and this has been given as 5 in the question itself.
Sir,
Yeah.
can you zoom out, sir? I will take a screenshot, sir.
Right. Then
Thank you, sir.
so, next move to the last. Like I guess this is the last question. We have some more questions. I guess 2-3 questions are remaining. But first deal with this. Yeah. So here we are. This is the GIF function. So then the part, the sequence has been given here something like that. N equals to what?
So which question are we taking now? 12, 6.
Yeah, this is 12 to 14. So the last 2-3 questions. Okay. 3n minus n by 2 by 7 plus n. When n is odd, and when n is even, 5n square minus 4n plus 1 by 6n plus 2n square. When n is even. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct, sir.
Okay. Okay. So this is done. What are the questions? So the option given when n is odd, then okay. So that there is some option has been given to you. How will you solve this? If n is odd, okay, let's see that if n is odd, n is odd. What do you think? How does the function will behave? N minus 2. If n is odd, just take a value n as an odd number. Let's, for example, take n equals to 1 itself. If you are taking n equals to 1, what will you get?
0.
0.
0, right?
Yes, sir.
So which of the two is correct? N plus 1 by 2 or n plus 1, n minus 1 by 2?
N
N
minus
minus
1 by 2.
1 by 2,
Minus 1 by
N minus.
right? You can, if you just put n equals to 1, you will see that this is what floor function of 1 by 2 is equal 1 by 2 is equals to 1, 0.5, and that will be basically 0.5 is basically 0, correct? So here from here also you will get the same. Clear?
Sir, I didn't
Now
get
for
the
odd.
question.
Okay. Yeah. So okay, I'll just write. I guess you haven't seen the options. I guess this options given are the four option is given. The option is somewhat like this: if n is odd, then this floor function n by 2 will become n minus 1 by 2. The B option is if again n is odd, n is even. I guess n is even, then this floor function of n by 2 will become n by 2 plus 1. The C option is n is odd, then n by 2 will become n plus 1 by 2.
Sir, why
And the
this
D
option
option is
can be correct?
third one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll just go. Yeah, 1 second. Just let me write the options first. Then n by 2 is equals to n by 2. See, why
so
third
A and
option
D
is not
are
correct?
right.
What?
A and D are right option.
Okay, we'll check it. First is correct, we have checked it. Why third is not correct? Because if you just take the value of n equals to, let's for example, n is 1. 1 is odd, right? If you're just taking 1, so what should be the value of this? If you are putting GIF of float function of 0.5, what is the float value? 0, right?
0.
0.
Yeah, 0. Are you getting from here also 0? If you just put it n equals to 1, you are getting 1, right?
Yes.
Yes,
So that's
sir.
why this is
By
not
2 is
correct.
1.
Is it clear? Clear or not?
Yeah.
Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now for even
It's clear.
value, yeah, for even value, what do you think? Which one is correct?
Fourth option.
D.
Fourth option is correct, sir. And by 2
Okay.
4.
Because if we
4 by
put
2 is
n as 2, it should come out to be
If you took n is equal to 4, then 4 by 2 is 2.
Yeah. Just
And
take
the
n equals
float
to 2. N equals to 2. If you are taking n equals to 2, the float value of 2 by 2 is what? 1 only, right?
1.
So from here you
Yes,
are
1.
sir.
getting correct. Yeah, B is
Yes.
incorrect, D is correct.
Yes, sir.
Clear to everyone? The options.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I just solved this question using options.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, you can correct solve it using options also. Now the next part is you have to calculate the limit of what? N tends to infinite of 4an. So whoever was asking this is clear, right, to everyone? This is important question because this type of problem will be there in your paper also. This floor functions are questions. Okay.
Yes, sir, this is clear.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay. Let's move to the next part. Now you have to calculate the limit n tends to infinite 4n. How will you calculate that? We'll have to calculate from both odd and even side both, right?
Yes, sir, both the cases.
From both the cases, you have to calculate. Both should be equal. Then only you can get an. If you're not getting the equal value, then you're doing something, some mistake, or maybe the question is incorrect. Okay, something like that. So let's try to solve it for. And now, if we have converted the float function into some normal, so now we can write it like this, right? What is the function that we are getting? The n was what? 3n. Can we write it for n odd? What will we write? This function we can write it directly, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
n minus 1 by 2.
Yes.
Here we can write. So if we'll write it, 3n minus n minus 1 by 2 upon 7
7
plus
plus
n.
1.
This n is equals to odd. And for n equals to even, what is that? 7, 5n square minus 4n plus 1 by
Plus
6n
1.
plus 2n
6
square.
and 2n square.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Sir, it's n by 2 or n
Yeah.
minus 1 by 2, sir. In n for odd function.
What?
The question is n minus 1 by 2 or n by 2, sir? N for odd function. For
This you are talking about?
yeah, yes, sir.
No. So for odd function, we already know that this we have changed it to n minus 1 by 2. So this floor function was changed into n minus 1 by 2.
So now we can use that value only, sir.
We can use?
Now we can change that into n minus 1 by 2.
Okay, how we have changed it? This is what you are asking?
No, sir. Now we use this only. From the option we get the answer. Now hereafter we use that only.
Yeah, that only we are using.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Sir.
Okay. 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 Next part. Okay, so for n equals to odd, if you have to calculate the limit for this function, what will be the value? Limit n tends to infinite. This is what? This is 6n minus n minus 1 by 2 7 plus n. So you'll be left with what? 5n
Plus 1.
plus 1 by, yeah, correct. 14 by 2n. What do you think? What should be the value?
Divide by
5 by
n.
2.
5 by 2.
That's
5 by
basically
2.
2.5, right?
Yes.
2.5. If you have to multiply 4 times, you have to calculate 4n, right? So 4n is what? 4 times of this. So basically 10.
10.
So from odd function, we are getting 10 as the limiting value for 4n. Any doubt here? Anyone?
Sir, I didn't get the 2.5 part.
This part, huh?
Uh,
Okay. So whenever you have to calculate that limiting value for wherever the n tends to infinite, you can just divide all the term with n. If you're just dividing all the term with n, you'll be left with 5 plus 1 by n
yeah,
and
okay.
14 by n plus
Plus
2. So this will be 0, this will be 0. Next part is when n is even. So for n equals to even, you can do it, right? Or should I do it? It's like clear. Directly you can write it. So here it is n square and here it is n square. So 5 upon 2. Right? Because you can just
Yes.
divide all the term with n square. You'll be left with 5 by 2 1. Correct? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is clear. Now let's move to the last question. What is the last question? What is the last question that you have to
Sir,
calculate?
sir, one question. So, like now for n equal to odd, we got one value, and for n equal to even also we got one value. So there are, right?
But both are same, right? Both are same. From here also we got 5 by 2 into 4. Here also 5 by 2 into 4.
Okay, both were 5 by 2. Okay, fine, fine. Got
Yeah,
it.
both are same. Yeah. Now the next part is you have to calculate the sequence bn, right? For bn equals to 4 times an square minus 10an. Here also you can do the same thing, right? Because it is, you have to, n tends to infinite. So same thing for limit of an square, n tends to infinite, right? Similarly, minus 10 of an, so you already have the values. So you just have to calculate for n square. Will do it or should I do it?
Sir, can we just simplify the equation given as 2an multiplied by 2an minus 5, and we already know the values of an, and we can directly substitute the limiting value of an.
That also you can do it.
Okay, sir.
So you'll
The
get
value
the
will be
value.
0.
Yeah, that will
Yes,
be 0.
the
Yeah.
value comes out to be 0.
Yeah, that will be 0. So the bn will tending to 0.
Sir,
That will be 0. Yeah, yeah.
sir, I had a doubt in a particular question. Can I post it in chat?
Okay, so we have 2 more questions. After that, if the time permits, I'll just discuss. But even though we have, what if you have a doubt, you can anyone till I guess the exam is on Sunday. You can just put it on the discourse, or maybe you can just mail me also directly. I'll try to give you the solution for that. Okay, is that fine?
Can you share your mail?
Yeah, I already have shared it. Yeah, vishal@study.iitm.ac.in. Okay.
So
It's
can
not
you
in the
repeat your
chat.
mail?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. For the last question, what was the final answer? Maybe I missed the discussion in between. You did not
okay.
repeat.
BN.
Yeah.
Yeah. BN, right? BN, you're asking?
Yeah, 14th one. Yeah. I think it's
Okay.
B1. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just write it out. 1 second, I'll just share my mail ID.
Sure.
Okay, I guess I've said it. Okay, and let's BN, right? BN, you're basically, so BN you have to calculate the limiting value of the BN. So limiting value of BN and tends to infinite. And Bn basically is being given. It's limiting value of n tends to infinite. 4 is n square minus 10a. So we already have the limiting value of n, right? Because we already know that if you have to calculate limiting value of some quadratic equation where for each of the function you have already the limiting value, you can directly put it there. So basically this function will change the yeah. So limiting value of n tends to infinite a square n minus 10 times limiting value of n tends to infinite an. So an for an you already have the value, and here also you can directly put it. This basically is what limiting value of n tends to infinite an times limiting value of n tends to infinite an. You can directly put the value, we'll get the correct answer.
Sir,
Let's
I'm
move to
getting
the
answer as 50,
one
sir. Is it correct, sir?
for Bn, huh?
Yes, sir.
No, I think it should not be 50. It should be.
Yeah, it tends to 0.
I got it as
So when we solve that equation,
5 by 2 ka whole square minus 10 into 5 by 2. What are you getting? 25 by 4 minus 10 into 5 by 2.
so when we say
So
about
you're getting
an,
0, right?
shouldn't it be 5, sir? Because an has two parts, even part and odd part.
Both
Yeah,
part are same, right?
both are same only.
Both are 5 by 2 only.
So the
So you can see
sequence
that, right? The
becomes
function
complete
is
when
5
we
and square
consider
of 1.
both even part and odd part, I think, sir.
Which
We are
sequence?
taking the limiting value, that's all.
No,
I
okay.
think
If you are
I've
getting
misunderstood. So I think I've
okay.
misunderstood something.
Okay, let me write it. So if you have to write 4, if you have to calculate the
No,
limiting value
sir,
of 4 in
just value of an, sir. I'm not getting value of an. You are saying it is 5 by 2. I'm saying it is 5.
no.
Okay.
So basically the function is
I think what he's trying to say is there is an even part and the odd part. So summing up together, he's
Yes,
saying
sir.
5. I think that's what he's trying to say. Is it that way?
no, not we don't have to sum it up. Both the function for n equals to odd, this is the function has been defined, and for
So, sir,
even value,
that's
this is the
what I'm
function
asking, sir. When you say an, it has both odd part and even part.
an.
Yes, sir.
Even if it has both even part and odd part, one value is limiting to 2.5,
No,
right? So we have to take that one alone. That's what I had
even
to
for
say.
the limiting, yeah, correct. Whatever
Will
you have
not add
understood is
it.
correct. You don't have to add for limiting for n tends to odd and like basically not tends to like for n equals to even and n equals to odd. For both the values, you have to calculate the limiting value.
Sir, just one thing, sir. So when we know that a function is basically have two parts, two subsequence in it, then won't we say that the larger sequence has to be made out of both of the sequence by adding both of the sequence?
No, see, but you can't add. I guess the value you can't add, right?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, because
Maybe
see,
I'm
even
approaching it in the wrong ways.
yeah, whatever you're thinking can be correct, but here you have to calculate the limiting value, and both it has been given for n even and for n odd. Okay, so for both the function specifically, you have to take the different function. Okay, so this is what we have to do.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Got your point, sir.
Yeah. For any function, for a continuous, like for anywhere, like you can't basically add both two functions. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. So what is
Sir, I think we left some questions in between. Right?
5 and 6.
Yeah. 5 and 6 you're left with. Okay. So what is the fifth one? But this type of problem is very less likely to like very less likely to become, because the simple interest, compound interest, all those things we have not discussed. And if somebody is okay, the formula has been written, okay, then it's fine. So the sixth question is, it is given that someone Ravi has borrowed some money, 3,000 and 12,000 from his friends, Vinay and Bhumi, respectively. Vinay lent the money at 7% interest, simple interest per annum for 4 years, and Bhumi. So it's SI for Vinay. SI for Vinay. Okay. What is this? This is the formula is PRT by 100, right? So P is 3,000 from Vinay, and PR is what? What is the rate here? Rate is given 7 into
7%.
time is 4 by 100. Correct? And then Bhumi has given the money at compound interest. Okay, so Bhumi, for Bhumi, CI for Bhumi is equals to what? 12,000. What is the formula? P into 1 plus R by 100. R is what?
10 by
What is
100.
R
is
is
10.
10%.
by 100. What is the time is X years. And what has been said
Time
is
is
the compound interest which Bhumi received after X years is thrice the value of the simple interest.
So you forgot minus 12,000.
Okay.
This is
minus
formula of
12,000.
amount, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, this is for amount. Okay, correct. So 12K minus 12K will be the interest received, right? And this is
Yes,
also
sir.
interest received. Okay. So now, and this is said that the compound interest which Bhumi will receive is thrice as the simple interest which Vinay received after 4 years, right? Correct?
Yes,
So let's
sir.
do it. So 12K, 1 plus 0.1 to the power x minus 12K is equals to 3 times whatever has been coming here, right? So here it is what? 28 into 30, right?
210.
Let's, if we just solve this problem. This is what? This is 12K. You can just take it as the, yeah, so 1.1 to the power x, right? Minus 1
minus 1.
equals to
2,520 on the right side.
2,520. This is what we are getting. So then if you just do it, 1.1 x minus 1. If you just divide it, what are the value we are getting?
210.
No, you will not get 210. This will be less
Divided by
than 1,
1,000,
right?
so 0.21.
0.21. Okay, so 1.1 x equals to 1.21. So I guess x is 2, right?
Yes.
But this type of problem is very less likely to become in the exam. Okay, there's no, like, there is you'll not be getting this type of problem for sure in the exam. Mostly you'll be getting the problem like the calculate the domain for a simple function. Those type of problems will be. What is the domain of this x square minus? What is the domain of x cube minus 3?
R, sir. All
R,
real
Yes,
values.
all real.
yeah. So this is simple, right? Just very simple. There are some very basic questions will be there in the exam also. Okay. Then what is left now? It's done, right? Okay, one more question. So it has been given that stock price it has been given a stock price, right? Why? For a motorcycle company is predicted something like that. Okay, so there's some y equals to minus 7 of log 2 x plus a plus 35. And then it has been given that where x represents the number of months in January of the month 2021. Note that for January. Okay, so for January you have to take x equals to 0. For February you have to take x equals to 1. Right? This is what has been given here. It tends to natural number. If the stock price of the company goes to 0 in November, okay, of the year 2020. So okay, so find the value of a, right? So for x equals to 11, sorry, x equals to 10.
Yes, sir.
For
Yes, x equal to
November, it should
10,
be
but
x
we
equals
have
to.
to take January as 0.
Yeah, but x equals to 10, you just have to put the value y equals to 0. You'll be getting the answer. X equals to 0 equals to minus 7 log of this what? 10 plus a plus 35. How will you solve this?
35 transpose it.
Correct. So 7, 10 plus x
5.
equals to 5, right?
So
And
2
you'll
power
be,
5
sorry,
is, no, 7 will
log
not be. No.
this is fine, right?
Yes. 2
So
power
this
5
is
is
a.
10 plus a.
So 16 is equal to 10 plus a.
2 power 5 is 32.
Yes, sir, it's 32.
Yeah, this is 32. 32 equals to 10
10 plus a.
plus a is equal to 22. Clear?
Sir,
Yes.
shouldn't that f of 10 you have written, shouldn't it be f of 11? Because it says x is number of months since January 2002.
The
No,
January is
it has
taken as
been.
0.
Yeah, we're saying that January because we should take 0.
Yeah, we have to take January as 0. Okay. So if you are taking January as 0, so December will be 11 only. So November will be 10, right? It has been mentioned in the problem.
Okay, sir.
So if it was given like January is 1, then you would have taken November as 11. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so this is done. I'll just solve one question, and this type of problem is also there. So 9x minus 2 into 3 over x plus 1 minus 27 equals to 0. Solve for x. How many values are possible for x? Okay, this is what has been question. How many values are possible? I'm
It
not
is
asking about the
2
solution.
into 3 or 2.3 square power.
2 into
2 into
so
3.
2. So how many values
2
of x
into
are
3.
possible? How many values are possible
Okay, sir.
of x? 1 or 2?
Sir, I didn't get the question correctly. Please repeat.
No, I'm just asking solve this equation. You have to tell me how many values of x is possible. How many values of x is possible? Valid values of x. You can get n number of like maybe 2, 3, but I'm just asking how many valid values of x that you can put it here. Are you getting like let's for example you got the value
Yes,
as
sir.
x
We
is
need
equal
to check
to
that,
One
right?
way,
5 and
After
7.
one solution is available.
5 and 7 you got. One solution is correct.
3
Yeah,
and
one is
9.
correct.
So sorry, minus 3
5.
and 9.
So 5.
5 is not correct. 5 solution you won't be getting. I guess you'll be getting only one solution. See, let me give her one example. If you are getting x equals to, let's for example, he said x equals to minus 9, minus 3. But if and x equals to 9, okay. So two solution you got, but x equals to minus 3 you can't. It's not in the domain itself. So that's why only valid option is what? Only one correct solution. Okay. Clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now tell me how many solutions are possible for this question.
One solution.
One solution.
One solution, right? How will you solve? How will you solve? So we just take it as just take y equals to 3x. You just take y
yes,
equals
sir.
to 3x. If you are just taking y equals to 3x, okay. So this is what 3 square x minus 2 into 3 into 3x minus 27 equals to 0. So this is what 3 2x minus 6 3x minus 27 equals to 0. Correct? So this is what? This is y square. Can you see? Can you see the screen,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay. 6y minus 27. So what are the solution you'll be getting? Y
9 and minus 3.
minus 9.
Yes.
Y and plus 3.
3
So y equals to 9 and y equals to minus 3.
minus.
Okay. But we have taken y equals to 3x, right? If we are equating this value 3 over x equals to 9 and 3 over x equals to minus 3, which of the two is correct?
No,
Can you
sir.
get this one? For which value of x you can't get it, right? So this is not a correct solution. For this, x equals to 2. So if you have been asked how many solutions, then you can say 1. What is the solution? Then x equals to 2.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Are you getting me? Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
this type of problem, yeah, this type of problem will also be there. One more question I'll solve, and then we'll just end this session. Log of what is the value of x? And tell me the value of x that is possible there, correct value of x, and how many solutions are possible.
The plus minus 3.
What is the correct solution?
So
Only
3.
plus.
Plus 3.
Plus 3 can only be possible. Minus 3 you can't put. Right? Minus 3 if you'll put it here, it's not in the domain itself, right? The domain is what? X greater than equals to 1, right? Greater than 1. 3, minus 3 you can't take, right? Okay, if I'm asking log, how will you solve? What's the domain of this equation?
So we can write it as log 8 a into b, right?
You can write it.
Domain, sir.
For this function,
The
what is the
domain
domain for
is
this
One
function?
is greater
Greater
than
than
8.
1.
What is this? Greater than equals to or greater than only?
greater than.
Greater than 0.
Only
Greater
greater
than
than 0
1.
because
Greater than 1.
what? Greater than 1? Why? Why greater than 1?
X minus 1 should be greater than 0, so x should be greater than 1.
Yeah. This is greater than 0. Yeah, correct. So x is greater than 1. Will not be taking equals to here because you already know the plot of ln, right? So ln, what is the plot of ln? How does it go?
From below
0 and
x-axis.
Yeah, correct. So the plot also should be knowing. Okay.
Yes.
I guess this is done. Yeah. So my pencil is also discharged, so I'll have to put it in the chat. Okay, no problem. So we are just wrapping it off. So whatever I told you, all the questions are important, and you'll be getting similar type of problem in the exam.
So can you
So
solve
what
this
is the answer
question?
for this question?
Okay, this question. Okay, let me charge the pencil. Just wait for 2-3 minutes. I'll have to. Okay, the answer for this question is, I guess, x equals to plus minus 3, but minus 3 you can't put it. So because it's not in the domain itself, because in the domain x greater than 1 is possible, so we'll be having 3 as answer. Okay.
So,
Yes, I got it, sir.
thank you, sir. Understood, sir.
Do I have
Can you
to
show
solve
it
it?
once, please? Yeah.
Okay. Just wait. Just you'll have to wait for some time.
Directly speak also multiply, no? M plus n, so x plus x square plus minus.
Correct. Yeah, it
Take
basically
8
a plus
log both the sides, so 8. So x square minus 1 equal to 8. So then you can sub easily do it.
Yeah, so basically it is log of 8x plus not working. So basically it is log of 8x plus 1, and this you can do the if it is log m plus log n, basically you can do that log mn, right? So this is what you have to do here. X plus 1, x minus 1, that will become x square minus 1, and that equal to 1, right? So you can just put it as
We can equate to 8.
Correct. That you can equate it to 8 because 8 to the power 1 equals to x square minus 1, and then you will get the solution as x square minus 1 equals to x square minus x square equals to 9. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So if you haven't got it, you can just put it on the discourse. Any problem that you haven't got it, or you can just mail me, or you can tag me there also discourse at the Vishal. I'll be there. So I guess I guess I guess today is the last session for your quiz 2. Before quiz 2, all the best for your exam. We'll
Thank you,
meet
sir.
after the
Thank
quiz.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
Thank you, Vishal sir.
Okay. Thanks everyone.
Thank
And one
you.
more thing. So in the continued differentiability, right, you can get a question somewhat like true and false also, whether it's like continuous at that point. We'll be having some 5-6 problems. 5-6, I mean 2-3 questions will be there, but if you just add the subpart and all, we'll be getting some 5-6 questions where you just have to tell whether the function is differentiable at this point, not differentiable. Those type of problems. The problem will also be there. We'll be having problems from linear approximation also, so you can't just leave that portion. That is an important portion. You'll have to practice some 2-3 questions before going to the exam. Okay, that is also important
Okay, sir.
from last week. Okay,
So can you explain linear approximation? Like maybe one
so
example.
no, I can't write it now, but you can just what in the lectures it has been
You can
it's
refer to
not
yesterday's session. It was discussed
yeah
yesterday.
you can just go through that in the
But
end part. Yeah, you can just go
tutorials
through that.
also, sir.
There also it's there. So it's not difficult. There's some formula that you can write it, that tangent one, and then that's pretty simple. That's not very difficult. Okay, it will take some 10-15 minutes to just go through that. Okay, so that you can do it. I'm just telling you the important portion. The linear approximation. You have to go that. Okay, you have to solve some problem. Otherwise, you just mess up in the exam. Limit is there. Limit, you should be knowing some basic limit. If it is in the form of I told you some examples we have given. If you have to, if the value is tending to an infinite, and then if you have been given some equations like some constant to the power x to the power 8 or something like that, you just have to take care of the coefficient of the highest degree from numerator and denominator. Okay, or you just divide it if you are getting confused. You just divide it with the largest degree. Okay, each term, and then you'll be getting the answer. Or you can use the L'Hopital's also if 0 by 0 or 1 by 1, infinite by infinite you are getting. So somebody mailed regarding that, regarding the L'Hopital, that you can't use it for the second time. You can use it for the second time if you are getting 0.0. So every time if you are getting 0.0, you'll be use it. But if you are not getting 0.0, if you are getting something like 1/0, then you can use it. Okay, so this is what I'll try to say. So 0 to 0.0 or the indeterminate form that we have discussed. Okay. More normally it will be in your exam it will be 0.0 infinite upon infinite. Okay, mostly. Okay, none other than 0.0 or infinite upon infinite we have discussed in our lectures. Okay, so we'll be getting mostly in those indeterminate form. Okay, other than that, sequence we have already discussed. We'll be getting questions from the sequence also, whether it is converging, diverging, or if it is mostly it will be given somewhat like it is already converging. You just have to tell the where it is converging, the values you have to tell. Okay. The next important portion, this function should be knowing whether for the given function, or maybe the plot, whether it's a function or not, or maybe what is that onto into functions, or all those things you'll have to mark it. Other than that, week 5, this composite function also you should be knowing. Composite function, if you have been given f of g, how do you calculate the domain? So I told you two methods that you have to calculate. How do you calculate the domain for any composite functions, right? Other than that, I guess week 5 is done. Log x, from log x, we can be given this type of problem where you will have to solve the equation and then tell me the values of x, or maybe how many possible values of x are there. Okay, from log x. So those are, I guess, the important portion. I guess all the things that I have discussed, all the portions that I have told you, those are the very important. You can't just skip those portions. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Sir, I have sent
Yeah.
in the
Thanks.
chat box a PDF. Can you look at it?
Now, so it's like we are already done with the
Yes, sir.
session.
No,
but
no,
you can
it's
just
not. It's not a question. सर वीक 1 to 12 के लिए मतलब एक आईआईटीएम के स्प्रेडशीट से मैंने ये क्विक रिवीजन नोट्स उठाया, तो एक बार देख लेंगे क्या?
you can use it. You can use it. If you haven't made your own notes, you can just use this. Just
So I
tweak,
have made
revise
that.
it
Yeah,
from.
there is. Yeah.
Yeah, just use it from week 5 to 8, okay? Not more than that. Yeah, you can use this notes. If somebody has made this, you can use this. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking
Yeah.
session in morning.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Everyone. Okay. Bye. Bye, everyone. And all the best for your exam.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye, sir.
Thanks. Okay. Bye.
Bye, sir.